So it's looking like HotToys Artisan is the new HotToys 2.0. Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and in this video we're going to take a look at the newly announced HotToys Artisan Moon Knight and also the newly announced HotToys Artisan Mr. Knight. Alright, so you know what, I'm going to take a look at, these were both put up for, well, not put up for pre-order, they were both announced today. And I'd say they'll be up for pre-order in the next few days. I think on Sideshow they already have. No, there it is. You can see Sideshow there. This is www.sideshow.com. You have Mr. Knight there. It's $255, which isn't bad for a figure that you get a head sculpt with. Okay, now, but that's not the main attraction here. I'd say everyone today who saw these announcements realized this one is the main attraction. This is an artisan version. It's going to have that, you know, rooted wool hair technology, and it's going to be limited to 2,500, so it's exclusive. So that's what makes it exclusive. It's 2,500. Apologies for quick interruption to this video. If you're watching this video right now, hit the like button, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel, and the support is greatly appreciated. Back to the video. Look. It's funny how they literally did this figure. I'd say this was announced maybe, I don't know, a year ago. No, it's not the exact same. That one didn't come in an Oscar Isaac head sculpt, and it certainly wasn't rooted because it didn't come in a head sculpt anyway. But I think this one looks more weathered. It's significantly more weathered. It's not like, it's not being marketed as battle damage, but just looks heavily weathered. Look, we'll return to this momentarily, but I want to talk about this one first. So this is $255. It's up for pre-order now on Sideshow, and this is the Moon Knight based on the likeness of the actor Oscar Isaac from the Disneyplus Marvel Studios Moon Knight TV show. Now, if you've been following the channel, you already know I have absolutely no interest in this because I've yet to rewatch, and probably will never rewatch, any of the Disneyplus Marvel Studios TV show. I don't think it's good TV. They're just not good. I don't think they're good at all. This particular TV program, I give them all a chance. I don't like, even like if you think about Star Wars The Acolyte, I know that's not Marvel, but like when everyone was absolutely shitting on it, and I knew I wouldn't like it, I did give it a chance. I watched the first two episodes. I actually watched the first two episodes in the cinema in Dublin. I got invited to this special premiere screening because I'm a member of the 501st, which was great. And it was great to see the lads from the 501st, and it's nice to be invited in a really nice cinema in Dublin called the Lighthouse Cinema. Went in there, watched the first two episodes, but to be honest, the best thing about it was I got to see some of my friends from the 501st. Apart from that, I wish I'd saved the money on the parking and the time and invested that into, I don't know, doing something else. So yeah, my point is that I still give it a chance. I don't jump on the bandwagon. I give things a chance and I make up my own mind. So this is a show I particularly didn't like. The first episode was good. After that it got bad, and then it got worse, and then it got even worse. So yeah, wasn't a fan. This looks incredible though, and this is the sculpted version. So if you're familiar with it, by the way, as well, I have actually read some of the Moon Knight comics. I understand that he has that, you know, like multiple personality disorder. He has very different aliases. So you have like Stephen Knight, I think that's his name, and you got Moon Knight, the, you know, the character with all the, you know, cloak and stuff like that, and then you know, Mr. Knight, and then Jake, is it Jake Lockley, the taxi driver? One of them's a taxi driver, I can't even remember, but I've read like his origin story and a few other comics from this, just to, I like to have a bit of context. So I like the comics, I like the character, I like the concept, I like Oscar Isaac, and I thought his performance was really good because he's essentially playing multiple different versions. There's definitely a hint of Fight Club, if you know, you know how Fight Club finishes, and if you've seen the first episode, definitely give me kind of, I would imagine I wouldn't be surprised if the director, producer, scriptwriters, whatever, took a little bit of inspiration from David Fincher's Fight Club, which was a time when I would claim it was one of my favorite movies. So let's take a look at this. Right, $255. This one is not Artisan. This one is not exclusive. You can just go on to Sideshow now and purchase it. $255 for a character, a figure, 1/6 scale licensed figure with a head sculpt, which is pretty incredible head sculpt as well. That's probably the best price point you can hope for in this day and age. So I'm seeing straight away, you know what, I'm going to go scroll back to very end and just show you everything that $255 gets you. So what you get, this is Mr. Knight in the suit. You have two different head sculpts. You've got the Oscar Isaac head sculpt, or the unmasked head sculpt, and then of course you have the kind of material white version with the light up eyes, and he's suited in what looks like a three-piece suit. You've got a shirt, you've got some sort of waistcoat, and then the outer coat, and it's actually textured on that as well. It's not just a straight white, there's texturing on there. You got the 6 buttons on that double-breasted waistcoat. You've got the white suit pants, and then separate rolling eyeballs from the sculpt. So you got these two, I'm going to call them batons. You got these, they look like trainers. The shoes, you've got this LED light up function in the head, which is great. So maybe get that wired up, because let's face it, you don't want to spend all that time taking off the head sculpt, taking this tiny screwdriver, open up the battery compartment, wrestling with those batteries, getting them in, because you know, you get two in, you get the third one in, they all pop off, and eventually when you get them in, you turn it on, it dies within 10 minutes. Not worth the effort. Either wire it yourself or get a fusion reactors kit or a soap reactor, something like that. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not sure, is that 8 hands total, or there's 8 in the 2 that it comes with? I'd imagine it's 8 hands total, would it be? Yeah, and then a generic kind of a hexagon base, and then this kind of totem thing. I can't remember the name of this eagle thing. I think there's, I'm not sure, is it a totem? I don't think it's a totem. I think there's a special word for it. If you know the answer to that, please let me know in the comment section down below, because I don't care enough to look it up. Right, so let's go back through a few of these images. Separate rolling eyeballs function. Yeah, let's start from here. No, actually, you know, I'll go back this way. Separate rolling eyeballs function, which is fantastic. It definitely adds to the realism and the posability and the attitude and, of the character. It gives it a more lifelike quality. Just gonna give it a bit more, gives a bit more personality or sternness. Definitely adds to the posing. Newly tailored pattern suit. I think the suit could be tailored better. Now, I only watched this series first, and I'm not going to go back and watch it again. From my recollection, I thought the white suit was a bit better tailored or fitting on him. Could be wrong about that. I'd imagine there's joints on the wrists here, but they've done a great job on these hands, these gloved hands. They look like material to me. Now, I'm assuming they're plastic, but it looks like material to me. So anyway, plus it'll cover up the wrist joints, I'd imagine. Like the detail here on the suit, if you look at it, it's textured. There's like, I don't know what the name of that is. Is it houndstooth? Any fashionistas in the comment section, let me know. I thought that kind of, there's a design which is kind of like triangular, or kind of triangle shapes, like patterned into like kind of winter coats and stuff like that. Houndstooth, I think it's called. So you got another, if you look at the details there on the cuffs there, you got 4 buttons there, nicely done. And you can clearly see here, they're a bit shiny here, so the gloved hands are not material, they are in fact plastic. Doesn't really bother me too much, I'm not going to get it anyway, and I don't think it would bother me if I was going to get it, but it'd be better if they were actually material gloves. You having holding that, oh man, I have that, it's not like a totem or a tesseract or a serac, or there's some sort of a name for that bird thing he's holding. I can't remember what it is. Head sculpt looks amazing. The mask, LED function, light up, and the eyes, it seems the mask seems to be a slightly different tone to the suit. Now maybe that is screen accurate, I cannot remember, but I always thought the suit was the same color all the way through. And I'd imagine that a head sculpt is plastic as well, and maybe that's the problem, because if you look at it here, the head sculpt kind of looks like a duller white, the same as the plastic gloves, and kind of like the shoes as well. I think the suit, the materials are shining a bit brighter than the rest of it, and maybe that's accurate, but I always thought it was just a straight white. I'm thinking that it is supposed to be a straight white. Not entirely sure. The tie as well looks like a different tone as well. Yeah, so there's a few different tones of white going on there. Anyway, suit looks a bit better tailored there. I suppose that it's good that it's a slightly bit loose anyway, because you can pose better. I just think the head sculpt's a star of the show here, $255. I'd imagine this is for someone who's a die-hard fan of the comic books and was a die-hard fan of the show and just want the different versions of Moon Knight. Maybe you have the Moon Knight already. From what I understand, I heard people last year saying it was like potential figure of the year. I've heard people say the cape's amazing. They like the sculpted hood on it, and you know, all the details on the moon as well on the chest was pretty damn cool. So yeah, for all purposes, it was what I understand, a very, very good figure that a lot of people were very, very happy with. So I mean, but if you're like you just wanted that version, you don't particularly care for Oscar Isaac's head sculpt, then maybe you're just happy with what you have. If you want to pick one up and you don't care about Oscar Isaac's head sculpt, I'd imagine a lot of people are going to offload that original version. But I gotta say, that head sculpt looks incredible. $255. Yep. One final look. separate rolling eyeballs function, the tailored suit, two head sculpts, one Oscar Isaac unmasked, one of the masked version which actually lights up in the eyes, newly tailored pattern suit. You've got your base, swap out hands, about 8 swap out hands, the 2 batons, and that little, I don't know what it's called, that little bird thing. Alright, so the next thing we're going to look at, now I don't have a price for this, but I'd imagine this is going to be north of $400. Now, if I look at, if I'm on Sideshow here, we will take a look at the those amazing photos. But if I just take a look at availability, waitlisted, should bring up some artisans. So Artisan Black Widow, why isn't it giving me prices there? Is it because they're waitlisted? Right, let me click into it. No prices. Because they're waitlisted. Oh no, there's a price there. €377 essentially. Yeah, it's going to be north of $400. I don't have an exact price, but the artisans tend to be very expensive. Probably because they all come with sculpts and they all come with, for the most part, that rooted wool hair. That seems to be the defining difference. I mean, we're not getting leather upgrades and everything. It seems to be nicer packaging and yeah, better wool hair. Okay, I gotta say, as much as I have no intention of getting any version of Moon Knight, and I didn't like the show, they've nailed this. Like, I don't give out 10s that often. Like, this may well be a 10 out of 10. I mean, I just think it's incredible looking. There's no doubt who it is. The hair looks great, and that's short hair, so this kind of opens up the door for more artisan characters for short. Like, just the other day I was saying they're not going to make a Chris Evans or Captain America artisan. The hair is too short, it doesn't need it. This hair is longer, because more so around that curl that he's got on the right side of his face. Chris Evans' hair is still a bit shorter, it's a different style. It probably still doesn't need artisan, but if they can pull this off, maybe that does open the door for more artisan rooted hair, lambswool hair, whatever you want to call it, for shorter haired characters, because this looks pretty damn good. Hopefully the product lives up to the prototype. I gotta say, this is a 9 or a 10, and I'm leaning towards a 10. I'll have a look at more of these images, but that's just incredible. You have to give, you know, hat tips there to HotToys. The sculpt looks great. The paint applications look great. Even around the chin, the face there, you can see is like kind of a hint of his 5 o'clock shadow coming in. You got the separate rolling eyeballs function. You've got the hair looks great. It even looks kind of gelled up as well. Yeah, just that. I love the detail on the Moon Knight here as well. Like, if I was to get one version, if I really wanted it, I'd be aiming for this one. I don't care for Mr. Knight really. The Mr. Knight and the suit one we just went through. This would be the main one to get. This is what you want. You want that proper Moon Knight look, and then with the option for this amazing Oscar Isaac Stephen Knight head sculpt, and plus the weathered battle damage look always appeals to me. And this isn't even heavily battle damage, so if you're someone who doesn't want to just, if they have one version, I know a lot of people, if they have one version, they want the clean version. For me, if I have one version, I tend to lean towards the battle damage version. It does depend on the situation. Ideally, what I love is that they give us the clean and battle damage swap out parts. Like, just off the top of my head, the Mark III behind me, or the Iron Man Mark 6, or right next to it, also from the same Iron Man 2 movie, the War Machine Mark 1. You've got this battle damage swap out for the Mark 3, for example. They give you the clean faceplate, chest armor, and shoulder pads, but also the battle damage versions as well. For the Mark 1, they give a bunch of stuff. Now, for this version of the Mark 6, they only give the clean and battle damage faceplate, clean and battle damage chest plate, but anyway. I like battle damage characters, but this is more like a weathered look. This is like he's fought a few battles. So let's take a look at everything it comes with. This is 2,500, so this is going to be one of those ones if you really, really want it. To be honest, just don't go after this if you don't want it. I mean, I don't think it's worth the hassle and the stress. Yeah, you could get it and resell it, and if you do that, more power to you. That's capitalism, and I wouldn't judge anyone for doing it, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you're getting it for a friend, I'm not sure. Do what you want. So, separate rolling eyeballs function. Obviously, that beautiful Oscar Isaac head sculpt. I gotta say this, the more I look at this, it just looks like a 10 out of 10. It looks fantastic. Wool hair implantation, great. I actually even think, I don't know, is it just they've taken more, I don't know, is this, I presume it's the same head sculpt as the other one, but this looks better, and I don't think it's just the hair, I think it's almost like the lighting seems to be better in this, whichever way they took it. This looks realer. Now I'm not sure if it's the exact same sculpt. I'm like, ignore the hair. I know the hair is different. I'm not sure it's the exact same sculpt, but they've just given more attention and detail to the photography and how it's lit to make it look realer. Or is the paint applications better in this? Because what I mean by that is, I know the browns are coming through in the face a bit better. The 5 o'clock shadow's a bit more obvious. It just looks incredible. I was blown away when I saw this morning, and yeah, like, hats off to them. Like, the talent of these. I know, you know, sometimes I see a head sculpt and I'm going to call it like it is. If something is a bad head sculpt, I'd say it's a bad head sculpt. If something is a 5 out of 10, I'd say it's a 5 out of 10. If something's a 9 out of 10 or 10 out of 10, I'd say that as well. And like, people would say like, oh yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. No, I wouldn't, because that's not my job. It's like if a pilot crashes a plane and it's his fault and people die, which is terrible, obviously. And then someone saying, yeah, that pilot was very irresponsible. How dare he do that? Like, you know, it's a shame now. There's a terrible tragedy here now. And then someone else comes along going, yeah, but you couldn't fly a plane. Yeah, I know, because that's not my bloody job. So like, there's nothing wrong with providing constructive criticism once it's in the right way. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to make these, but it's also not my job. So I commend the talent of these sculptors, these people who put the paint applications on, does the rooted hair, the tailoring, the costume, and, you know, all the R&D. It's fantastic. But yeah, they're not immune to criticism. Wool hair implantation, sculpted costume design with weathering effect. I love the weathering effect. I just think it adds a bit more character, same as battle damage does. It just makes it look realer. LED light up function, super. You have that in the helmet as well, or the helmet. Sorry, it's not a helmet. It's a cloak, it's a cape, it's a hood, but they've sculpted it, I believe, because the last one sculpted. And yeah, look, hoods are tough work. The ones that are non-sculpted. Now, I think I do prefer non-sculpted because they look realer. But then again, how much can you tell from like a meter away, whatever. But like, they do require a bit of futzing. I mean, the Obi one there, it kind of had a point. It kind of had a little bit of a point in A New Hope from my recollection, so that's fine. But say the cable poncho, you really have to mess around with that to get it look good. Although I have to say, I was admiring the Ahsoka pose I had the other day, because she's got those big lekus, and I have the hood right over it and sitting down. It's sitting really nice over the, you know, I think they're called lekus, and it's hanging, it's draping really nice. It's really baggy. So yeah, they did a good job with that. I think there's a wire in that. Right, it comes with a bunch of these, like, okay, no, they're not batarangs. What are they called? Moonerangs? Who knows? These crescent darts. I got it. I could hear the little comic book nerds just not a batarang. I could hear them. They're coming out. They're deleting their comments right now. So yeah, that was a crescent darts, I believe they're called. Yeah, I know stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different swap out hands. I've never actually asked that. I know I mentioned it already in the video. Like, I presume it's just 10 total, and it's not 10 plus the 2 that come on the figure. Because, you know, if you're watching this, you're a 1/6 scale collector. It tends to come with the relaxed hands, and then you got the weapon holding hands and different gesturing hands or whatever. So 10 swap out hands, a hexagon base, just a generic base, a bunch of these crescent darts. There seems to be 8 of them. Boots, I can hear Jay saying boots is not an accessory, and he's right, he's not. But I really like the how weathered they are and everything, the detailing on them. It's kind of cool the way you can put the 3 crescent darts in his hand like that. Brilliant. Let's move on. So 2,500, folks, and it's gonna cost in around 400 and something. I'd say it's gonna be north of 400, Amy. I'd say I'm gonna throw it out there, 455 random. Okay. Looks good. To be fair now, I'd imagine it's the same figure as the last one, just this is weathered and this comes with a head sculpt. It looks incredible. A lot more detail going on from what I remember between this and the last one. The last one was a lot cleaner. I suppose, like, if you have the Moon Knight and you have the clean version and you don't care about the Oscar Isaac head sculpt, why would you bother getting this? I think this is for the die-hard Moon Knight fans, or who want the best representation of everything. He's standing on that base, but unfortunately it doesn't come to base. I think that's the Thanos base, is it, or a version of it? It looks like it. They should have given us a diorama base with this. Like, it's kind of a bit cheap giving us the normal hexagon with the Artisan. Isn't that their, like, flagship version? Just Throw in the diorama base. That's it, folks. Yeah, look, this is not a triple threat for me because I do not love the character. I did not like the show. But this version's pretty cool. I think if I had to get any of the three licensed versions that Hot Toys have announced so far, the one that's out, this one here, the Artisan version, or the Mr. Knight, this would be the one. Because, you know, it's the superhero look. That's what you want. You don't want the fancy accountant in his white suit. And you've got this, man, that head's... It's a 10, folks. I gotta hand it to it. This is it. If this turns out the way it is, it could be one of the... If this turns out... If the product... Use your words, Shane. If the final product turns out as good as the prototype, it could be one of their best they've ever made. Folks, that is the end of the video. If you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, consider becoming a channel member. Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and X. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you in the next one. Good luck.